I'm Reverend Shannon Stange, and I'm here at Missions Fest Vancouver 2019 with Caleb Tin. Hi, Caleb.
Good to be here.
Yeah, wonderful. And you actually are the operations coordinator.
Yes, that's correct.
So you got all the gear on. You got like the FBI mic in the ear that you just took out. You're looking very official with the walkie-talkie.
Thank you.
You know, it's like, don't mess with Caleb. But, what does it mean Missions Fest is a huge undertaking every year.
That's putting it mildly, yeah.
Mildly, yeah. Tell me a little bit about what it takes to do the operational side of Missions Fest.
Prayer and volunteers.
Okay.
Coordination, planning.
But what is operations responsible for? Like, what the boots on the ground? What do you guys do when we're at the conference and before?
Sure. We don't call ourselves security.
Okay.
Per se.
Oh, okay. That's why you have the mic in the ear, sort of thing, because you're not security.
Yeah. Well, the venue takes care of that officially, but we are an extra set of eyes and ears.
Okay.
To help with that, and we do try and take as much load off of them as we can.
Got it.
So, operations really is about trying to make sure that everybody has a safe, enjoyable time. That all of the moving parts move when they're supposed to, and if anything does have a hiccup, we try to minimize the hiccup's effect and make it go away and be invisible as much as possible.
Okay. So, we're talking about discipleship here at Missions Fest this year, or discipling. And I've been trying to sort of thread the needle that we do discipling in every aspect of our life, even in our businesses, in our churches, and ministries overseas and locally. Do you do discipling through even what you do as a volunteer here at Missions Fest?
Absolutely.
How does that look like?
Well, let me back up a few years.
Yeah.
My parents had brought me to Missions Fest since I was very small.
So you're a Missions Fest toddler?
Well, as an attendee, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't start volunteering until I was late teens.
Okay.
But when we did start volunteering, that was basically my whole family was here volunteering all together. So that was great. But my role with operations at the time was actually being an understudy, so kind of an apprentice to the person who has the position I hold now. And so that was being discipled in what does it mean to serve the whole church by volunteering at Missions Fest and trying to help things run smoothly, be a part of the planning meetings and things like that. And fast forward 9 years now, being in the position where I'm able to see, we've got 3 junior members on our team this year who are learning the ropes and being groomed for more responsibility. So
you were discipled in that you were mentored and trained up in how to run.
Still being mentored.
Well, we're all learning things, but the reality is that you're now doing what you experienced, and that's the essence of discipling. That's beautiful. I love it. So when you're out there on the floor and you're looking for, you said that you had like 3 younger guys who...
One's a lady, but yes. Yeah.
One's a lady. Okay, but you've got a team of people that have come on board. They're younger than you, and you are raising up a new generation of people who are going to be part of Missions Fest and helping us run this event. How many people, I'm just curious, because I don't know the answer to this, even though I'm one of the coordinators. I've got one small area of the thing here. But how many people does it take to actually run Missions Fest?
Well, that's sort of a loaded question.
Yeah.
The operations team has about 12 to 15, but that's not what it takes to run Missions Fest. You're looking at over 200, I think even over 250 volunteers. Maybe, talk to John, maybe 300, I'm not sure the exact total, but lots of volunteers.
Yeah. It's a big...
and some of them are young. We've got little kids with wristbands on saying, I'm a volunteer. So.
Yeah. And and I think that's the thing that I'm glad that we're chatting about this, is that Missions Fest is a ministry. And it's a ministry to not just the city, but to the people who come and volunteer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some great conversations, great prayer time with other volunteers, and get to know people well as well.
Caleb, I'm just so glad that you're on the team with us and that you're part of Missions Fest, and you bring a history. I think that this is what is valuable about having been discipled and being able to then pass on what you've learned. It's like there's continuity of history. If you think about it that way, we need to remember where we came from so that we can make changes that are appropriate to keep the DNA of who we are alive.
Sure.
So that we don't just sort of like, this is a new idea, we want to try that, right? But remembering who we are and maintaining a thread of DNA into the future is important, and that only comes through discipling. Appreciate you taking the time to talk.
My pleasure.
And I'll let you get back to being the undercover security guy that you're not. All right?
Thanks very much, Shannon.
Have a great day.
Appreciate it.